Hello everybody and welcome to MiddleMouse, where today we're going to be taking a look at 3 different aircraft mods for GTA 5. Links to the mods will be in the description below. So let's start off with the smallest airplane we have, the Embraer EMB-120 by Canal Embraer GTA, which is a twin propeller aircraft that can be added as an extra vehicle in your game. When it comes to exterior, there's pretty much nothing to complain about. The model is high quality with a nice level of detail and good textures, however it only comes with one skin. Everything on the outside works as intended, with functional flaps, ailerons, elevators, and rudder. The landing gear is retractable and has a pretty nice animation too, and the cargo door can also be opened if you have a native trainer, though the inside isn't awfully detailed. The only thing that's currently not there is any form of boarding animation, which is possibly due to the door bugging out in older versions of the mod, though we assume this will be fixed in the future. At night, this plane looks pretty nice, with all lights working properly, including the cockpit lights, window lights, and navigation lights. It also comes with working landing lights, which is always good to have. Where this mod really falls short though has to be the cockpit. The detail on the inside is basic, with flat surfaces and poor textures for most things. The first-person view is in a bit of an awkward position, and none of the gauges are functional. As far as how the player's model actually looks in the cockpit, well, this footage kinda speaks for itself. When it comes to destructibility and damage, this mod is pretty average. Bullet holes do register for most of the plane, however the glass takes no damage. The wheels can go flat and do come off, which is a nice touch. The engines can be damaged, and the plane can fly with only one engine, resulting in, of course, less control during flight. Crashing the plane results in the model turning charred and the different components coming off, though the only issues we have is that the charring is just a flat grey color and the glass on the passenger windows is still there and shining after destruction. Overall, this is a fairly good mod if you're looking for a small plane to add to your game. It's definitely good eye candy from the outside. However, if you like your interiors detailed and accurate, you may find this mod a bit disappointing. The second plane on our list is the A320-200 by SkylineGTRFreak, which is a medium-sized passenger aircraft that can be added onto your game. Exterior-wise, the model looks great with fantastic level of detail, and fits in fairly nicely in the game. It comes with a selection of 6 different liveries, including US Airways, Virgin America, United Airlines, Delta Airlines, Air Canada, and Northwest Airlines. There's also extra community-made liveries that can be downloaded for the mod. The plane has functional flaps, ailerons, elevators, and rudder, and looks great while flying. The turbine engines also rotate while the plane is running. The landing gear deploys and retracts with a nice animation, and the front doors and cargo door can all be opened. All the lights on the plane work at night, including the window and navigation lights, and the plane also has working landing lights with high beams. So from an exterior point of view, this plane ticks all the right boxes. What was great to see is that all the work didn't just go to the exterior, but time was put into making the interior pretty good looking too. It's fairly accurate to the actual thing, and the models look pretty good from first person. However, this interior stands out from the crowd for one reason in particular, and that's that many of the gauges, the artificial horizons, altimeter, and airspeed indicator all work. The stick moves with the player's hand, and the landing gear lever even works with the landing gear. It's definitely a great surprise when you get in and see things working. The position of the character in the cockpit is just a little bit awkward, but we can excuse that seeing that the interior more than makes up for it. Destructibility when it comes to this plane is pretty good too. Bullet holes seem to register for different parts of the plane, and the cockpit glass can be damaged and broken as well. The individual engines can be damaged and do fail if damaged enough, affecting your control over the plane accordingly. When crashed, the different parts come off, and each one has its own charred texture, which looks quite nice. Overall, this mod absolutely delivers with its quality. Between the great looking exterior, livery options, functionality, and well-modeled interior, this is a mod you definitely want to grab for yourself if you want a medium-sized, realistic jet for your game. Moving on to the largest airplane of the set, we have the A380-800 by Zackintosh and SkylineGTRFreak, the A380 being the largest commercial airplane to date, surpassing the Boeing 747 jumbo jet. The exterior of this model is very well made, and the developers definitely did a great job at showing the sheer size of this aircraft in the game. The plane comes with a fair amount of customization, offering you 9 different liveries to choose from. These include the Qantas, British Airways, Korean Air, Air France, Airbus, Etihad, Lufthansa, Emirates, and Thai Airways liveries. Some of the liveries are slightly pixelated, but it's hard to notice unless you get too close. The flaps, ailerons, elevators, and rudder all work and make for a realistic look while flying. The turbine engines rotate when active, and the landing gear works nicely. The cargo door can be opened here, however none of the other doors do. It's also worth mentioning that this plane handles fairly heavily due to its size, so props to the developers for keeping that in mind. The plane looks fantastic at night, with all lights switching on after dark. So regardless of whether it's night or day, this plane definitely looks great from the outside. The interior of this plane is definitely one of the prettiest we've seen so far. Everything is fairly accurate, and the modeling and texturing work is very well done, making it great to look at in first person. The only issues here are that none of the gauges in the cockpit actually work, and that there are a couple of minor clipping issues with the player model. Besides that, it's a great interior. For destructibility, it's pretty good, and almost equal to the A320. The plane does register bullet holes, however only one side of the cockpit window takes damage. The engines do get damaged, and the plane can fly with 2 or no engines, at the expense of control. When it crashes, the different parts detach from the fuselage, and each part has a unique charring texture, which looks pretty nice. In conclusion, a great mod and definitely something you'd want to get for your game. While it could use a few tweaks, just the fact of flying the largest commercial airliner in your game is worth the download. And that's it for this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in to MiddleMouse, and until next time.